Can everybody hear me? It's 6:30. We're going to go ahead and call the financial management meeting for Thursday, August 13th, 2020 to order. And so let it be known by voice count. Mr. Glenn and Mr. Martin, are you both there?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Commissioner Martin's here.
Okay.
Superintendent Glenn's here.
All right. Mr. Wiltshire,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Swallows,
Yes.
Mr. Cotton,
Yes.
and Mr. Rubley.
Here, yes.
Okay, so we're all present. I think Mr. Cotton sent out the minutes from the last financial management. If you could identify, if you make that motion to dispense with reading, and whoever's second, if you'll also identify yourself with a voice ID.
Now,
Is there a
Commissioner,
motion?
motion to approve and dispense with the reading.
We have a motion from Commissioner Rubley. Is there a second?
Second, Daniel Owens.
Second from Daniel Owens. Does anybody want to speak to that motion or have any corrections to those minutes? Then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. We have several items on the agenda tonight. First item is award the Highway Department bridge bid. And so, Mr. Glenn, do you want to speak to that?
Yes, I do. We had our bid opening today. We had 8 bidders, and my engineer took them all back, and the lowest bidder, he tabulated all the numbers, and Justin received a letter of recommendation, and for $699,620.50 goes to Summer Taylor out of Cleveland, Tennessee. My engineer has worked with them before, and they've done good work, and they say they're ready to go work on this bridge on Northcutt's Cove Road. So I so move.
So we have a motion for Mr. Glenn. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Blaine Wiltshire.
So Blaine Wiltshire seconds it. Does anybody have any questions of Mr. Glenn or have any further discussion about awarding the Highway Department bridge bid to Summer Taylor? Then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? As long as everybody's unanimous, we'll just do that. If anybody votes nay, we'll go through and do a voice count. So unanimously passed. Now we have Warren County Schools maintenance vehicle bid. Mr. Swallows.
Yes, this is just a vehicle for our maintenance department that's been budgeted. We only had one bid from Freeland Automotive. This is for an SUV given for carrying of supplies. So with only one bid, that's the recommendation that we accept that bid.
What was the bid for? We have a price on that?
Freeland Automotive, $25,950.
$25,950. Are you making that as a motion?
I do.
So we have a motion for Mr. Swallows to approve the one bid from Freeland for $25,950 for a maintenance vehicle. Is there a second?
Commissioner Rubley, second.
Second from Commissioner Rubley. Does anybody want to speak to that motion or have any questions, Mr. Swallows, about this bid? Then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The next is Warren County Schools annual fire alarm bid. Mr. Swallows.
Yes, this is just a low bid. Awesome Group, $16,825. This is a new company that we would be working with out of Greenville, Tennessee, but it is substantially lower. Security Equipment has done this in the past, but about a $5,000 difference. So we are recommending, and I'll make a motion for the Alston Group to get this bid for fire alarm testing and inspection. That's one time a year for us, and so $16,825.
So the motion for Mr. Swallows for the low bid is $16,825. Is there a second?
Commissioner Martin seconds it.
We have a second from Commissioner Martin. Anybody got any further questions of Mr. Swallows or want to speak to that motion? Then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously again. The next is the Warren County Schools Automated Temperature Screening Systems bid. Mr. Swallows?
Yes, this is, you've probably seen this. We've talked about this a few times. These are the screening tablets that we would try to purchase with our CARES Act money, which is federal money. This would give us the opportunity to install these at our schools. And it's, if you've seen them, they're the tablets. They scan you, give you maybe a more accurate reading. You can see in the bid Tierney, $2,000 per tablet, but it does meet all the specs. That's our recommendation. It gives us a pole, a desktop non-tilt. It gives us a wall mount with it as well. You can see there's obviously several companies these days that are selling these, but this is good, we think, to outfit our schools to give us a better idea of health screening at each one of our buildings. So I would make the recommendation to accept Tierney's bid of $2,047 per tablet. Our goal would, as a school system, would be to put it in all of our school buildings.
We have a motion then for Mr. Swallows for Tierney for the automated temperature screening tablets at $2,047. Is there a second?
Commissioner Wiltshire, second.
So we have Commissioner Wiltshire makes a second. Is there any further questions of Mr. Swallows? Anybody speak to that motion? Then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The next is discuss Warren County Schools Mental Health Awareness and Prevention Programs bid. Mr. Swallows?
Okay. I don't have that one in front of me, guys. I'm sorry.
I believe this was one of the ones that we either didn't get a bid on or they didn't want to award. So I don't have a bid tab for it either.
I haven't seen one either. I think that's the one that didn't get a bid on it.
Okay.
I know the next
My
one we
apo-
didn't get a bid on either.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll-
Lauren said there was one bid and it did not meet the specs.
Yeah.
So it'll have to be rebid. That's the issue on that one. I was thinking that was the next one, but it's the Mental Health Awareness Prevention Program bid. So there was one bid and it did not meet the specs. So we'll have to move on from that one and redirect it or rebid it and start from scratch on that one again.
Okay.
The next one then is the Warren County Middle School Emergency Egress Windows bid. And that one, I don't think received a bid at all. Is that not correct, Mr. Swallows?
That's correct. We've actually done this twice now, and we can't get. It's just there's not enough windows to get a company to want to bid on it. So we're gonna keep trying. We have to replace those. So we'll keep trying that.
If I could say, we had a similar situation with the ridiculously overpriced pole barn that took us a couple of years to get bids on. I think we've done our due diligence to attempt to get bids. So precedent is that you should be able to call contractors and have them go out on an individual basis. And if you can get informal quotes, I believe that the last time we had this problem, that was the wishes of the committee, was for us to proceed. We've tried to do sealed bids as the law requires. So we're not getting any result. We're just wasting money. So I think that if the committee wishes, we should be able to allow you to go out and get quotes instead of doing sealed bids.
Do we need to make a motion for that, Justin?
Yes, we do. That's what I was going to say. That's what we did before on that pole barn.
Yeah.
And so I think that was all clear that we could take that measure as long as we got some competitive quotes and then award which is the best for that. So Commissioner Wiltshire, were you making a motion to allow Mr. Swallows and allow us to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion for Mr. Wiltshire. Is there a second?
Second, Daniel Owens.
So we have a second from Commissioner Owens. Has anybody got any further questions about taking that direction with the egress windows? Then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item is budget amendments and transfers. Mr. Cotton?
We have none at this time.
All right. Surplus property approval and disposal.
I sent that list out, to everybody today. I would like to call your attention to, let's see, the attachment where, well, okay, we'll do the new surplus first. The, majority of it was from the school system for, it's, surplus, mostly electronic goods that'll be sold on GovDeals, that just need to be surplused, and any that are damaged beyond repair need to be, disposed of.
Motion to do the follow, what Justin described. Anything?
We have a motion then from Commissioner Rubley. Is there a second for those surplus electronic goods from the school system?
Superintendent Glenn seconds.
All right, second for Mr. Glenn. Does anybody get any questions about anything on that list or the disposal process for those that are not saleable? Did all in favor say aye? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Cotton, others on the list?
Yeah, we had, included was the, information we kind of got from a local John Deere dealership about the tractor that was surplus from, airport and, potentially going to be claimed by sanitation. I don't know if you have it in front of you, but the tractor, unit, so that would be the tractor, the front end loader, and the bucket. They're saying that the trade-in value on it is about $6,500, and then the trade-in on the rotary cutter, I forget, it doesn't list the size. I forget. I think it's 10 foot. Is about $1,000. So for both of them, it would be trade-in would be $7,500. As a place for the committee to start off, as a place to set a value for potential monetary transfer between funds. If
Make a motion that we remove the 7,500 from sanitation and have it placed in the general fund.
okay, I think
We need
that Josh had said that he may or may not want to take it depending on what the price was after the committee decided. So that may decide that it ends up going to sale if that's the wishes of the committee.
Let's just make the motion that the minimum bid, if we put it out for sale, will be $7,500, and we'll offer it to sanitation at that same price. So if the director is willing to do a transfer on that, we'll go ahead and do it. Otherwise, we'll put it up for sale and take the highest bid.
Good. Do you want to make that motion?
I can make that motion. Is there a second?
Second, Daniel Owens.
Second from Daniel Owens. Has anybody got any further questions?
What, procedure are you gonna do if nobody takes it? How are you gonna sell it? By what means?
Good deal.
Yeah.
Correct, Justin? We'll just put it on GovDeals?
Yeah, I mean, unless we have a local auction that we intend to have in the near future, I mean, we don't have a large stockpile of goods to sell locally, so we would put it on GovDeals unless the committee wants to do something else.
So we could offer it to Josh, and if there's any other department that wishes to take it at that same price,
Yeah.
otherwise we'll advertise it on GovDeals. So that's the motion I'm making, and we've got a second. Any further questions? Did all in favor say aye? Any opposed? Thank you. So maybe we'll get some money for a tractor. Any other discussion on surplus property, Mr. Cotton?
No.
All right. Next item or whatever is discuss or review or approval any other business that may come before financial management. Mr. Cotton, have you got anything?
No, I do not.
Does Any other member of the committee got anything? With no further business then, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion, Commissioner Wiltshire.
So we have a motion for Commissioner Wiltshire. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Owens. With no further business, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen, for attending tonight, and we'll let you know when our next financial management meeting is needed. Thank you.
Thank you.